most fascinating industry in the UAE is the hospitality industry. Staying in Dubai, we know that the world's tallest, I don't know what not, hotels are there in the UAE. Dubai is considered as the king of tourism and luxury. Luxury is super common here. I can conveniently say that luxury is the next necessity in Dubai. From a VAT perspective, most of the transactions in a hotel or a hospitality industry is easy peasy 5%. However, if we deep dive, there are various transactions on which there could be tax implications. Hi everyone, we would like to welcome you to our podcast series Everything Tax by Anderson. Everything Tax is an initiative by Anderson to share tax knowledge with everyone. I am Gaurav Chugani, tax manager with Anderson. Along with me, I have Vaijanti Dalvi, who is an assistant manager with us. The most common transactions in the hotel industry are related to complimentary offerings. There are many complimentary offerings which are there in the hotel industry wherein free food, free stay are provided. Who does not like free lunch? Everyone does. Of course, you also, Vaijanti.
Of course.
As per our experience, we have seen that businesses fail to account for VAT on such free stay and free food provided to guests or maybe to influencers. This should be subject to VAT at cost at least, because these are considered as deemed supplies. And not treating them as deemed supplies can have a double whammy, because the FTA during audit will take tax as well as the penalty on this. What do you say, Vaijanti, on this?
Yes, Gaurav, indeed. We have observed during the VAT compliances that many hotels here in UAE are missing to report such complimentary supplies.
Correct.
One reason could be that they do not have the ERP support in place for such transactions wherein they can extract the details. We have seen that certain hotels are maintaining the data manually.
Correct.
And at least paying the VAT on the cost price.
It is just to safeguard themselves.
Yes, correct. Also, there is one more type of deemed supply which is right now in trend, as you say, jazzy. That is the influencers on Instagram or social media celebrities, wherein hotels are giving them free food or free stay. In exchange, they are doing advertising on their social media. If you ask me, this is purely a barter transaction per se, wherein influencers are providing advertising services to hotels, and hotels are providing freebies like free stays and free food to them. Typically, such transactions are taxable at both the end.
Of course.
From hotel point of view also, and from influencers point of view also.
Agreed.
Nowadays, the influencers are in such a trend that they may be crossing the threshold limit within like a days.
Of course. So recently we saw that the FTA came up with guidance saying that such social media influencers and such social media, what you might say, Gen Z guys should register if they cross the 375,000 limit, because it's very easy for them to cross because the transactions are high value. And as a practical experience, we suggest our clients to pay VAT on complimentary supplies. If they do not have ERP which supports them, at least do it manually. Do something, because this is very, very important, and non-payment will have implications during audit, of course.
Just while we are discussing on the freebies which are given by the hotels, here in UAE there is a standard practice prevailing that providing staff meal.
Correct.
To employees.
Correct.
For free of cost. Now, when you will discuss this aspect with hotels, they specifically say that this is our standard practice.
Correct.
Wherein we provide the staff meal to employees, and this is not a menu items per se.
Precisely.
So the thing is that here again UAE VAT law is very clear that if anything is going for free, that it's subject to VAT.
Correct.
As we explained earlier.
Agreed.
So now here the question is, such free food given to employees should be considered as deemed supplies or not?
Based on my experience, if you ask me, during FTA audits, the FTA is asking for these transactions. They are
Absolutely.
reviewing these transactions.
Yes.
Documentation plays an important role here, because if hotels can rationalize and provide information to the FTA during audit saying that this is necessary for the employees and to perform their roles well, or this is a documented standard policy and this is a contractual term that we need to provide these food to the employees for better performance, then the FTA may agree, and they may say that, okay, fine, that this does not fall within the definition of team supply. Okay, but we are yet to see how the FTA reacts on this. But recent audits, the FTA has accepted few cases, and few they have not sort of provided any clarity. So apart from that, there are many other challenges in the hospitality sector. One being a system limitation. Why? I'll tell you. Because the system which is there commonly used across the globe is Opera. Opera is defined for hotels to perform better from a functionality perspective or operational perspective. But what happens is that it's not that tax efficient. It does not cater to the date of supply rules. Now, once it doesn't cater to the date of supply rules, there are mistakes which are there in the filing of returns, because advance, they are not paying tax because the Opera doesn't have that capability to capture advance and issue tax invoice for advances which are received. Secondly, we have seen that the date of supply triggers when the services are completed. Now, in the hotel industry, the services are typically completed when the guests leave. Okay, but however, the Opera closes records every day.
Yeah, true.
From an operational perspective, the guest is checking out each day at 12 o'clock or 12 noon, 11 noon, whatever is the condition
Standard
set.
time.
So again, the date of supply parity from a tax perspective and operational perspective. So there are limitations, but we have suggested our clients, or we have seen that most of the hotels have started complying with this by what you might say, including manual tax invoices for advances. They've started maintaining policies for guest checkout. So there are people who are trying to mitigate this by sort of manual intervention, because there are system limitations. Apart from that, we have seen that the tax documents which are generated from the system are not compliant.
Tax compliant.
So the tax invoice and tax credit notes are not compliant. In absence of compliant tax documents, it becomes very difficult to comply with the VAT law, because these are basics.
Basic
and
documents.
you cannot miss on basics.
Yes, correct.
So apart from that, we have seen that one more issue which is there in Middle East is that the property owner and the management company both are different. So there is always a rift who should register and pay VAT on the supplies made to the guest, whether the owner should do that or whether the management company should do that. But what I suggest is, in this case, the underlying agreement should be seen. Whether the owner is keeping the responsibility of serving the customer and management company is just a management company, then management company should invoice to the owner and owner should further invoice to the guest. Or it could be vice versa, wherein the owners have given the management company the entire hotel as rent, and wherein they charge the management fee or royalty fee, and then the management company can sort of maybe comply with the requirements with the guest. So this is a litigative issue. We have seen a lot of people discussing this transaction with FTA, and this will be a sort of a major point for a hotel industry.
There are many aspects, Gaurav, actually, practically, there are many aspects from VAT perspective pertaining to this industry. Right now, what is coming into my mind is the recent review point, that is airport transfers or pick and drop services provided by hotel industry to their guest.
Correct.
They are currently they are adopting the practice that they are standard rating it.
Of course.
Actually, as per UAE VAT law, the transportation of passenger services are exempt supplies.
Correct.
Now, as per our experience with many hotels in UAE, they are straight away standard rating it.
Correct.
However, when it comes to recovering the input tax credit, it becomes challenging for them, because if the supplies, the nature of supply is exempt supply,
correct,
irrespective of the fact that you are standard rating it, the input tax recovery should not be done, right?
Correct.
So here this will lead to double whammy for these industries specifically.
Correct. So thank you, Vaijanti, for your insights. And I think we have covered most critical aspects from a hotel or a hospitality sector. And I am Gaurav Chugani, signing off for now. Please stay connected with us for our podcast series, Everything Tax by Anderson.